RAYNET, CQ RAYNET. This is Golf 4 November Romeo Charlie, operated today by Greg, Golf 0 Golf Uniform Bravo, serving as net control for the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net. This net meets each Sunday at 1600 hours local time and is open to all amateur radio operators interested in emergency communications. The primary purpose of the net is to provide the opportunity for members to test equipment, exchange traffic news, opinions and information, with additional information found on the RAYNET-UK website at www.raynet-uk.net. This is a directed net, which means all calls are to be made to the net control station unless you are instructed otherwise, and all RAYNET-UK operators are invited and encouraged to check into the net. When you do check in, please announce your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name, and if you wish to leave the net immediately after checking in, then please call in and out. Otherwise, if you want to leave after subsequent turns, then please make it clear you want to check out at that time. After I've heard a few check-ins, I'll repeat how I've heard. If you're not acknowledged, then please do try again. And I will call from any strays, that's people who've missed their turn at the end of the UK and international sections. So I'll now begin taking check-ins to the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net, as always in call sign number order, starting with stations with figure 8. Figure 8 and their call sign wishing to check in, please call now. This is G4 NRC.
Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee G8 EEY. Name is Mike.
Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee, good afternoon Mike. Any other 8s please? G4 NRC over. NRC, then it's 7s. Station speaker 7 in their call sign, please call now. G4 NRC over.
G798 Golf 7 November Echo Hotel, in and out for me today. Greg, battery's running low and I've got the other radio on the stream.
G798, acknowledged Graham, acknowledged in and out, and thanks for doing the stream. Any other 7s please? G4 NRC over. For NRC, any 6s, stations figure 6 in their call sign, please go ahead. G4 NRC over. NRC, second call, any stations figure 6 in their call sign, please call now over. I'll see any stations figure 5 in their call sign, please go ahead over. See, not many 5s, so let's go for 4s. Stations figure 4 in their call sign, please go ahead over.
G4 KIL, Philip Williams, South Sussex.
Golf 4 Kilo Uniform Juliet, Trevor in Watford.
For Hotel Uniform Foxtrot, Phil.
G4 NRC, so far I've got Philip, Golf 4 Kilo India Lima, Trevor, Golf 4 Kilo Uniform Juliet, and Phil, Golf 4 Hotel Uniform Foxtrot. Any other 4s please? G4 NRC over. G4 NRC, then let's have 3s. Stations figure 3 in their call sign, please go ahead. G4 NRC over.
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, Ian. In and out, but I will listen to the end of the net.
3 Zulu Hotel X-ray, good afternoon Ian, copy to you in and out. Any other 3s please, G4NRC over. G4NRC, stations with figure 2 in their call sign. Now I've got both sides of the bridge. Any figure 2s, G4NRC over. G4NRC, second call for any stations figure 2 in their call sign, please go ahead over. RC, that is the 1s, stations figure 1 in their call sign, please go ahead over. For an RC, second call, any stations figure 1 in their call sign, please go ahead over. G4 and RC, then let's have Mike 0 stations of any regional secretary identifier. Mike 0 stations of any regional secretary identifier, please over.
Mike 0 Mike Foxtrot Sierra, Drew, West Ellen.
Mike MD 0 Mike Sierra Oscar, Philip, Northern Ireland, in and out.
Mike 0 Juliet Victor Zulu, Les from Leicester, in and out, but I will be listening. For an RC, so far I've got Drew, Mike 0, Mike Foxtrot Sierra staying with me, with Philip, Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, and Laz, Mike 0, Juliet Victor Zulu, both in and out. Any other Mike 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, please, over. For an RC, no takers, let's have Golf 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, over.
Golf Whiskey 0, Juliet Lima X-ray. Good afternoon, Greg. Name is Andy. RAYNET Pembrokeshire. No traffic today, so in and out, please. Over.
V4 and RC, good afternoon Andy, Golf Whiskey 0, Juliet Lima X-ray, and copy to you in and out. Let's take my habitual shortcut now. Any UK stations of any digit who missed their turn to call in, please call now, G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, nothing heard. Do we have any international liaison stations? Any of our colleagues from Nord-Samband of Norway, Arin in Ireland, Aries in Slovakia, etc.? Please call now, G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, so any stations national or international? Final chance, any stations national or international who missed their chance to call in, please call now, G4 and RC, over.
To Echo 0, Tango, Golf Echo. Good afternoon, Greg.
Two Echoes Zero Tango Golf Echo. Good afternoon, Toby. Got you on the list. Bringing up the end at check-in number 11. Okay, thanks for that. Right, usual reminders. Today's net is being live streamed by Graham, G7 and the H to YouTube today. Past live streams and recordings are available by searching G7 and the H. That's Golf 7 November Echo Hotel on YouTube. This is another time-constrained net today, and it must finish by 16:45. Normal service resumes next weekend. And because I have been constraining stuff, slightly displaced by the story of the GSM-R failure on the UK railways the week before last, news of the failure of the largest phone service provider in Denmark, known as TDC, on the 28th of November meant that half the Danish population couldn't use their phones, including calling the 112 emergency number. The service has actually placed emergency vehicles around Copenhagen to allow citizens to ask for help directly in case of an emergency. Other mobile services were unaffected, and as locals were reminded by removing the SIM card in their phone, 112 could still be called, circumventing the broken operator. The failure was suspected to be caused by a high volume of calls overloading the system, but Ericsson, the manufacturers, are still investigating. Graham, G7NEH, has run the data for the YouTube streaming of this net so for the year so far, and today should see us tip over 1,500 views for the year. There are definitely some seasonal patterns to net activity and views on the YouTube stream, and we're going to contribute to that by saying early that there won't be a net on the 29th of December. That's the weekend between the holidays. So those of you who want to talk about your Christmas presents will have to wait until the 5th of January if you want to do it via the net. But otherwise, thanks to Graham for his efforts in bringing the DMR net to a much wider audience. So with that, let's go around the net and see what we've got from you all. Mike, Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee, G4 and RC over.
G4 NRC from G8 EEY. Oh, pardon me. From a reasonably mild, reasonably dark now, and reasonably high pressure, and low to middling wind speed, so it's not too bad. But I say it's dark now, but during dusk and sundown, had horizon to horizon pale magenta colour across the sky. I thought I was on a different planet for a minute. Yeah, noted the 29th, and also noted the SIM-free that all mobile phones can access our 999 equivalents without a SIM card. From G8 EEY.
It's Echo Echo Yankee, G4 and RC. Okay, yeah, I'm wondering how the SIM pre-bit will actually work as the suppliers move towards so-called eSIMs, where you don't have the little widget you can take out of your phone and discard in true spy style into a bin somewhere. So I don't quite know how that'll work when SIMs are part of the personality of the phone itself, but it was a worthy reminder for that. And also surprised Mike came up with a comment. I believe there is a incident currently in Norwich for an unexploded device, which has caused some houses to be evacuated. Guessing it's not triggered a call for you. Okay, with that, it's Philip next. Golf 4 Kilo India Lima, G4 and RC over.
Oh, G4 and RC from G4KL. Thanks very much, Greg. Interesting. Yesterday with the HFnet, I think yourself and another station ended up on 60 metres, and 4 of us, I think, or plus a visitor, on 40. It, I suppose, reminded myself really that it would be worth trying to monitor the alternative frequency at the same time. I sort of reflected afterwards, and if I'd done that and realised you were there, we might have been able to pull the nets together, which would have been interesting and helpful. So there's a thought there. It was an interesting one on 14, as much as there was all that competition traffic going on it. But in actual fact, we had very good contacts. And in fact, I contacted a special event station down in Devon beforehand as well. And the same thing there, that although there was a lot of QRM around, our own inter-UK propagation seemed to be so good that we were getting over the top of them quite well. So that was quite interesting. I think my only other comment offhand was when you mentioned the 29th, understood, I'd totally taken on board there'd be no net. Will the DMR server itself be running as far as you know? It's just that although I shan't be in my home location on that day, I might be around, and it might be interesting to give a shout just to see if anyone's around at the requisite time. Okay, I think that's it from me for the moment. G4RC, G4KIL.
G4KIL, G4NRC. Yes, the DMR server will run 24/7, 365, give or take the occasional hosting provider issue. As usual, providing its service. I'm leaning on wood, so I'm hoping I'm not jinxing that too much. Yes, some more contacts spuriously through the week would be very good, or even on net days, just to keep the channels occupied. In terms of simultaneous frequency monitoring, so the weekend before, I'd done an exercise with IARU with 4 countries, where we had 6 stations, 3 frequencies, and it was how long would it take us to actually figure out who could work who and where. So less of the, once you've got a net, control it, but can you work as many as you can on each one, and bump into each other over the course of about 4 hours, so a bit longer than a usual RAYNET HF net, but equally just as interesting, because there was no simultaneous frequency monitoring involved, but we would have been able to have condensed down onto a net probably within about 20 minutes, I think, given the reports I've seen from stations so far. Okay, I'll come back to the propagation as well next time round if I remember, but we'll go to Trevor, G4KUJ next, G4 and RC over.
G4 and RC in the group, G4KUJ. Yes, good afternoon, Greg and everybody else. Fine day down here for a change, but getting quite dark now. Okay, no, it's been a busy week. Not had much time for radio. Sorry, I've not been on in the evenings for the pack tour sked. I wonder how they've been going. I do have an HXC message to get out tomorrow night, with luck, if propagation is good enough, to Peter. And that's for a message that came in from Peter, which he'd taken on CW from the States, to a station in Spain, who I pinged on WinLink and got a reply, so that's the loop completed, assuming my HXC message gets back. Apart from that, nothing further. I'll pass it back to you, Greg. G4 and I'll say G4KUK.
Try again, G4 and RC without the dropout this time. Okay, well, 80 metres pack tour does seem to, well, it's still bad for me, not able to make connections reliably at all. I suspect when you do connect tomorrow night, you might collect another bumper fun pack of messages to deal with. So, sorry about that. I don't know how I'm going to cure this at the moment. The noise level is a unshiftable S9+5 on 80 metres. So not helpful, and in terms of otherwise not much time for radio. Work is manic, work continues to be manic next week. I think we're just slowly heading towards that period where Christmas, you may as well just call me ill, because that's the state I'll be left in by the end of this, with what we need to do.
starting to feel unloved now. So, there you go. That's it from me. So, I shall say 73 to everybody. Nice to talk to you all again. And as usual, I've got some inspiration from the net. So, definitely worthwhile coming on. This is G4HUF.
G4HUF, G4NRC. Well, there is a health warning about the RAYNET-UK dashboard, which Guy will tell me off for explaining it incorrectly. But yeah, the status as shown on the RAYNET dash depends on a bit of code that runs in the web browser. I think it's server-side. So, depending on how fast or slow your PC is running, amongst other things, it is not absolutely real-time. There are a couple of seconds of occasional gap where I know I've lifted the finger here and the PTT's off, but I'm still showing as transmitting for a little while longer on the RAYNET-UK server. So my normal feedbacks are to look at the RAYNET-UK dashboard, but also to look at the Brandmeister node I've got in the house, node hotspot, which shows me effectively my feedback from the other side of the bridge. And there's 2 or 3 seconds delay at least between those to make it work, so don't feel unloved. It might just be a timing issue. While I've been saying Google Maps, I might have meant Google Earth, because that's software I think you can download onto a Windows machine, and that might be the way of inhaling your GPX files in a way you can at least see where they're going as well. So apologies for the confusion. I tend to use the two terms the same, but I know I shouldn't. Okay, thanks for that, Phil. See you next week, and we'll have a go for Toby. 2 Echo 0, Tango Golf Echo. I wonder how it's going, Toby. G4 and RC over.
For an RC 30TG, I hope that's a lot better for you compared to the previous transmission. I'm now on the 578, so yeah, not too bad. Yeah, nothing else here. I'm going down to see family over the festive period, down to Devon, so that should be good. But yeah, not too bad otherwise. I hope everybody else has a good Christmas and New Year, and we'll catch up in the new year on the next net, hopefully. Different RC 2E02G.
To Echo 0, Tango Golf Echo G4 and RC. That was solid copy using the 578 handheld. So 100% on that one. Enjoy the festive period down in Devon, and thanks for the season's greetings and returns to you. What's just crossing my mind, and it's something we're not that good at, when people set their hotspots up, you can adjust the hotspot frequency, and you usually do it against the radio that you're using, because people tend to have just one DMR radio. Just wondering if you ran the appropriate hotspot calibration routine to see what the frequency shift was between the 578 and the hotspot. I wonder what difference, and the other radio you were using, what difference you might see, and whether or not you need to find a hotspot frequency that sits delicately between all of the radios in the fleet, because that's something that's just crossed my mind as a Christmas activity should I get really bored, which is highly unlikely. But great to hear you. Enjoy the holiday season, and as I say, 100% that time. Okay, times are ticking, and I have a curious phone call to try and respond to, so I shall bring that to a close, thanking everybody for taking time out of their schedules to participate this afternoon. Be careful, have a good week, and until next Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time, I'll close the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net on talk groups 23531 Pheonix and Brandmeister and 50233531 on the RAYNET-UK server, closing those talk groups as a directed net and returning them to being an open net so anybody can call. 730 all, this is G4 and RC now closing and reverting to my normal call sign of Golf 0 Delta Uniform Bravo. Bye bye.